Hello and welcome to Learning Excel 2013. My name is Mike Henry and this is the fourth video from Tutorial 4. In this video we're going to look at creating spark lines and then we're going to be formatting the spark lines that we have created. With our pie chart completed now, let's take our focus down to the area just below the pie chart and let's make this look a little bit better. Right now we have some numbers in here, and numbers are good, but some people would like a visual reference to go along with those numbers, and that's what we're going to focus on now. So this first block here, we can see these are our production goals, and what we want to do is look at our 10-year production rate, and we're going to do this in a visual way. Now we have this data already pre-set up on another tab down here called Estimating Production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this area, and under this Insert tab, we're going to go over here and we are going to be inserting from the spark line. And we're going to actually insert a column. Now, the first thing the column is going to ask is, where do you want to get this data from? So our data range comes from here on our estimated production. And you can see here's years 1 through 10, our estimated production rates. And I'm going to just highlight for each of these areas. Now I want you to notice that there's 6 blocks right here starting with Chardonnay and working their way down. You can see over here those same 6 blocks all fell in order. And we get a visual reference of the 10 years of production. You can see here Chardonnay has all 10 blocks filled in. Each of those represents 1 year of production. Right here we have a wine that's only been in production for 5 years, and you can see if we look here that wine has only been in production for 5 years compared to the Chardonnay at 10 years. Now you'll notice that at the end every one of these end columns is the same height, but that doesn't quite make sense because you can see right here the last year's or to year 10 production, or these numbers here, that would mean that this is the same size as this, and not quite making sense. So we can control that look, and what we're going to say is we're going to take the axis, and it gives us the ability to control the minimum value and the maximum value on the axis. We're going to go do the maximum, and we're going to make it custom instead of just automatically the computer picks it. And for the custom value we're going to put in there 3,500 cases, which is the biggest one of all these. Okay. So now when you look at this, you can see that this one gets a full-sized row height because that's 3,500 cases. Now this one down here gets a really small one because it's only, well, it's actually less than a third of this one. You can see 2,000 is a little bit higher. So now the vertical heights are based on each other, versus it was saying 1,000 would be the top end one. Granted, no one's going to be able to look at that line right there and say that's a 12, probably not even that. It's probably like a 300 compared to this one at 1,500. That's why we put the numbers over here so that someone can come over and take a look at it and see, actually that would have been a 250. But we also give them a quick visual saying you can see a growth trend. We're growing here. This one says we're growing much rapidly compared to this one here. So that's what that's for. Now the other thing I want to show you with this is that we are going to ungroup them now, because any change I make to this, and I'm going to show you this first, if I change the sparkline color and I decide I want to go to this nice yellow color here, so we'll pick this nice yellow that's I think the one that everyone's using, you can see it changes every one of those, and that doesn't make sense. What we would prefer to do is change them each individually, and to do that you ungroup. So you can see when I hit ungroup, what happens here is now I can go to my Chardonnay. I look up here, Chardonnay is the lighter blue, so I'll come in here and I'll pick my Chardonnay, and oops, I did not ungroup them all. So you can see that some of them are still grouped here. So what I need to do is make sure when I ungroup I have all of them clicked on it when I ungroup. That way this time when I go and change this one, that will be the blue, and I can come in here. This one's going to be the orange, and I know they were using the 25% orange. So you can see now I go to my Pinto, and that's going to be here, and I can come in here. They wanted a gray 50, and I get that. So you can see as we go through here, you can make your colors match up exactly to what they wanted them for colors, and now we have a graph that's matching here. I did that by ungrouping. So we just learned about sparklines. We learned that sparklines are a visual representation of some numbers. It gives someone a quick view, gives them the ability to look at it and see a trend. They're not going to be accurate in that they're going to be able to tell the difference between 250 and 300 based on a visual representation. It's just a trend. Somewhere in our spreadsheet we should have the hard numbers for people to look at. So we learned how to create these sparklines. We learned how to format them so they would match colors, or how high we wanted the columns in our case to look in our particular sparklines.